Come on. Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's water education webinar. I'm going to wait a couple minutes for some people to jump on here. Hello. Hello, Beth. Hello, Sarah, and my mom. Thank you so much for tuning in. So while we are waiting today for everyone to jump on, I would love to hear what your intention was for showing up today, for coming to this webinar. You know, maybe it was to get educated on your health more, or maybe it was you're interested in different types of water and learning something new. So if you guys could write that in the chat, whoever's listening right now, I would love to hear why you're here and what inspired you to come today. And my intention for having this education webinar is that I have had, I've been educating myself on water lately because I am a Kangen water distributor, and learning the importance of water and how much our body is water is incredible. And I just wanted to share it with the world and to really educate people that just changing your water can really change your life, because we are beings of water. And so from my research and education for myself, I've just been so passionate and inspired to share it with the world of this knowledge of water. So yes, we will be learning a lot about hydration and Kangen water, which is known as microclustered ionized alkalized water. And this is going to be a really interactive webinar today. So I'll be asking questions, and if you could write in the chat which one you think they are. They're kind of fun little, questions and quotes that maybe you didn't know about water and about hydration. So if you could write in the chat when those come up, that would be awesome. And then during any time of this webinar, just send your questions in the chat. I won't really be focused on them during my spiel, but I have my business partner, Sarah, writing them down, and we'll get to them at the end of this webinar. So super excited. We're just going to wait maybe one more minute before we get started here. And awesome, we got 6 people today. Thank you all for being here. So, okay. Oh, I gotta share my screen. So I'm gonna share my screen. And we're gonna get started. All right. Hopefully everyone can see this. So, water education webinar. Are you dehydrated? So welcome, my name is Erika Hicks, as most of you guys know, and who all is joining us. Today we're going to talk about water in the body, what water does, and dehydration, the causes, brain dehydration, caffeine, weight loss, allergies, and hydrogen. So I'm really excited to get started with that. And all right, so interactive part, like I said, how much water does your brain contain? So if you could write in the chat what you think your answer is: 25 to 30%, 90 to 100, 75 to 80, 65 to 70%. What do you think that is? All right, so if you guessed C, you are right. It's about 75 to 80% water, which is pretty crazy. Water is the most important ingredient to your health. And if you look at this graphic, as you can see, pretty much everything on this list is over 50%. So your brain is 75% water. Your blood is 83% water. Your heart is 79% water. Your bones are 22%, your muscles are 75%, your liver is 86%, and your kidneys are 83%. And the one that really stuck out to me was the blood, that the blood is 83% water. And same with your liver and your kidneys. Our livers are detoxers. People get kidney stones all the time, and it's because they're not drinking enough water. Same with your heart and your clogged arteries or anything along that matter, heart problems. That's all because your water needs to be flowing. It needs to be rushing and very fluid from the water you're drinking, hydrated. So when we're taking supplements and we're taking elixirs and vitamins, those are really important to our health, and those can change our life. But do you see the percentages of these? Like how important your water intake is, your hydration, the type of water you're drinking. It can be seen as the missing link in mental health and wellness, but not all water is created equally. And that's something else that we are going to talk about a little bit today. But what I really want to make sure that you get that's important is that if you just shift your water, because if you can tell, we are so much water, you can shift your health enormously and you can change your life that much more. So, exciting stuff. So, water does so many things. And once I started researching, I could not believe how much water actually does in our body. And we know, we're 75% water. Yeah, I've heard that, blah, blah, blah. But here is a list of things that this is the reason why water is so important in our bodies. It delivers electromagnetic current to fuel your cells, enables the resonant field through which all communicates. So if you think about the quantum field, if that was dried out and it wasn't flowing all the time, or, water is the biggest conductor. If we don't have that proper hydration in our body, then our electromagnetic current can't go to each cells. We can't have communication between our cells because it's thick and syrupy and dried up. So nothing can communicate or function the best way that it can. So water also transports, stabilizes, signals, lubricates, and structures your body, which is huge, which we kind of also just said. It lubricates. So your joints, as you get older, structures your body. Your muscles are a lot of water. It transports information. Your blood does that. It takes the nutrients from your head to your toes, and it stabilizes and turns on our receptors, because some receptors aren't working because they're not hydrated enough. And water helps with the minerals in your body. Water protects the organs from shriveling. So I always like to think of a grape. If a grape gets dried out in the sun and it becomes a raisin, this will not happen if you have water and you have the hydration in your body. And it regulates your body temperature. Water also produces digestive enzymes, slows down your cell death, which is anti-aging. So the more hydrated you are, the more anti-aging you're doing to your body, which is awesome. And everyone is so keen on that. It's a huge market here in the United States and the world to anti-age. Water also flushes out toxins and poisons, helps keeps away aches and pains. So again, water does so much for our body. It doesn't just hydrate us in our thirst. It really does so much for us. So no water means no electricity, means no function. And the less water we have, the more dehydrated we are. It's like we have syrup in our body that we aren't able to do all of these things that I just listed. We'll start aging more. We'll have aches and pains. We won't digest our food. All of the things I just said won't be able to function because we are dehydrated. But the one thing you have to know is that the right water matters. So microclustered ionized water is very important to hydrating your body. Now, you might ask, what is microclustered water or ionized water at that? Microclustered water is, so when you think of a water molecule, as in tap water, it is bunched together. So it has about 10 molecules of water bunched together. And so when we drink it, we can feel it in our stomach because we have to digest it because it is such a big molecule. Now, when you ionize water, it adds a negative charge to this water and kind of like zaps it into microclustered, so hexagonal, six-shaped water molecule, which we'll get to towards the end of this webinar. And so when it's microclustered and ionized, our cells are able to actually absorb this water because it is microclustered. And when you're drinking regular water, yes, you're hydrating yourself. Yes, you are absorbing the water, but not at a cellular level, which is really, really important here because we need that type of hydration in our lives. And that is what a lot of us are lacking, is that cellular hydration. And the other amazing thing is that because it's negatively charged and ionized, it is an antioxidant and a free radical scavenger, which not all water is like that. Only microclustered ionized water. So the type of water does matter that you are hydrating yourself with. All right, so what percent of people in developed countries are chronically dehydrated? 22%, 90%, 50%, or 75%. So make sure you're writing in the chat to participate and see your answers. 75%. Wow, 75% of people in developed countries. So these are people that have infrastructure, that have money, that have jobs, that have the ability to get good, clean, microclustered ionized water for themselves, but yet 75, 3/4 of the world is dehydrated, which I believe is very epidemic, very important. That's why I'm sharing this with all you guys, because it is crazy, that statistic. And again, there's just so much water education that I could go on. This is going to be one of many webinars that I can dive deep into microclustered water. You know, dehydration is the main key this webinar, but we can just go off on lots of different avenues. So do your research if any of this is calling for you guys. So dehydration. Some symptoms are dry skin, dry lips, dry scalp, constipation, diarrhea, and enema, I can't say that word. Anyway, vomiting. Enema is when you are swollen from having too much water in your body holds on to water. So those are some symptoms of dehydration in your life. So what happens is that we automatically, naturally lose water. So, you know, just by being alive, just by doing our day-to-day activities like urination, pooping, breathing, which humidifies our body as it leaves, and sweating, that just happens regardless. So we are losing water throughout the day just by being alive. No matter what you put in your body, water or not, you are losing your hydration. So the Mayo Clinic is a cancer research center, and they say that you need 9 cups of water to stay alive, to naturally replenish yourself from these loss of hydration. And that doesn't include if you work out, if you have, you know, a strenuous job, if you drink coffee or anything. So 9 cups is a pretty big deal, especially coming from Mayo Clinic, which is very renowned. And so it's just something to be aware of. You know, if you do pee a lot because you're drinking coffee, you might need to drink more water more often. So causes for dehydration, and this part is huge. So like I said, lacking of replenishing yourself is a big cause of dehydration. You know, everyone's drinking coffee, everyone's drinking other liquids and not replacing that hydration for themselves. And dehydration is cumulative. So, excuse me, maybe you didn't drink a lot of water yesterday and you wake up the next day and you didn't drink a lot of water, and then the third day it just stacks on top of each other. So make sure that you're drinking enough water. Vomiting, strenuous activities like landscaping as a job or construction, you know, anything that you're moving a lot, even working out. Stress dehydrates you. Isn't that crazy? It's because it takes more water to help with your metabolism and just soaks it up when you're stressed. So stress from work, stress from kids, and we're all kind of a little stressed here and there. But just to be aware when you are feeling stressed, drink a big glass of water. Medication. Now, this is another one that is totally huge. And I'm not saying medication is bad at all, but when you get a medication and it has all these side effects like vomiting, dizziness, headaches, diarrhea, those are all signs of dehydration. But they don't say that on the side effects of medication. And the reason for this is that medication takes a lot of our water to metabolize, to digest in our system. And so when we take medication and we're not hydrated enough, we end up with those side effects. Our bodies don't work and function like they need to because of the medications that we're on. So make sure you're drinking a lot of water, which I'm going to take a sip here real quick. My water. So if you have little to no fruits or veggies, that can cause dehydration. And dry foods, again, kind of like medication. It takes a lot of water for your body to break down and to metabolize dry foods, you know, where fruits and veggies are high content in water. So it's easier for your body to recognize that and to digest it. Now, acid water consumption. You might be a little confused and worried why that is on there, but this right here, this picture, bottled water, is in fact known as acid water. Most bottled waters on the market today are just glorified tap water or reverse osmosis with some added minerals. And when you can do this at home too. When you test the pH of most commonly bought bottled water, it becomes a pH of about 5 to 6. So it's very acidic. And people might say, you know, drinking 9 cups of water is a lot, or I'm not thirsty, you know. Well, that's because your body doesn't want acid water. It doesn't want bottled water. It doesn't crave that because it's not replenishing itself. So rather just not be thirsty at all, which isn't good either. And so just to be aware that bottled water sits in plastic, it's not very good for you if that's what you're consuming. And that's why I'm here, is just to give some education and some awareness to these different things, because maybe you didn't know about this. And of course, sunshine and sweating, you get dehydrated. Alcohol obviously dehydrates you. Burns, so sunburns, or, you know, while you're cooking, coffee or caffeine, and lack of oxygen. So anywhere in elevation, you dehydrate yourself. So here in Colorado, my mom just moved here not too long ago, and we are drinking microclustered ionized water, which she is so thankful for because it's totally helped her with the lack of oxygen and has helped her with this transition of being about 5,000 feet above sea level. So Reducing your water as little as blank can result as much as 20 to 30% drop in your physical performance. So is it 2%, 5%, 1%, or 8%? So how much water do you think it is? So 2%. So when you are 2% dehydrated, it lacks your physical performance by 20 to 30%, which is pretty crazy. Water is the electrical force that wakes up the brain. So now we're going into the brain talk. Your brain is very important to functioning every day. And if we're not hydrating it, that electrical force, the neurons in our brain won't be able to communicate. They won't be able to function how they are able to because they're lacking that dehydration, that hydration. So this slide and a lot of this webinar today is from Dr. Corinne Allen, who's a neurologist, and she has her own brain clinic where she helps people understand their, diseases or illnesses or ailments that they're working with brain and with hydration. So people with high anxiety tend to be dehydrated in the brain. Same with depression. And the key too is think about those medications all these people are on. If they're not hydrating themselves properly and they're taking, antidepressants, well, it's like a double whammy to their system. And, it's just something we're not taught, something that people don't know about. So when you're dehydrated, you can have negative mood swings. Your allergies can heighten big time. Obesity and overweight can happen because a lot of us mistaken hunger for thirst. And I know I do that sometimes, but it's just good to bring awareness. And this is all scientific. There is more and more research coming out about dehydration, about how it affects your health more and more these days. And it's all scientific. You can do your own research. You can find out more about this. So because you're adding this water, you're changing the fluidity, you're changing the chemistry in your brain. And as you can see over here, this is a dehydrated brain on the left side. It looks shriveled up, like I said. And we see this brain over here, excuse me, it looks juicy, it looks moist, it looks way more hydrated and ready to go. Excuse me. When our brain is dehydrated, our mental function decreases. So ADD, concentration, fuzzy memory, fatigue, motor skills, cognitive abilities, and processing speeds. So think about kids, their motor skills, their cognitive abilities, things that they're working on. So many kids are ADD and none of them are drinking water. And maybe they are, but they're not drinking the right type of water. I mean, lots of kids drink milk or Pediasure or juice boxes or all this stuff. And if we just hydrated their brain, especially in this important part in their life, they will be able to focus more and not be on more medication. And again, it takes 2%, only 2% for your brain to really have that physical performance lowered. And then the last couple, multiple sclerosis, heart attacks and strokes. Like I said, the blood is 83%, 83% water. So when your blood is dehydrated and lacking that hydration, heart attacks and strokes are going to happen. Same with Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's is all about brain and different habits that you can change. So adding hydration and the right hydration can really affect these things: seizures, schizophrenia, and all those people are probably on medication, which means they have to drink more than 9 cups of water a day to balance that out. Right, so if you drink 10 ounces of coffee, how much water does it remove from your body? 12 ounces, 20 ounces, 5 ounces, or 10 ounces. So it's only 12 ounces, which isn't too bad. But a lot of people, when they drink coffee, when they drink 1 cup, they might drink 3 cups. They're not drinking water in between, or they're not like, oh, I drank 3 cups of coffee, I need to drink an extra 3 cups of water. That's not what usually happens. But it's good to know that you remove 12 ounces of water from your body with how much 10 ounces of coffee that you drink. Now, caffeine, and this means caffeine of all types. So, if you drink Red Bull, if you drink those 5-hour energies from the gas station, Monsters, whatever it is, whatever caffeine is your fix and your vice, it reduces melatonin, decreases memory enzymes, damages your DNA, affects overall brain function. And, I think about college and studying. When I would pull all-nighters or early mornings, we would all drink coffee or something with caffeine, Red Bull, what have you. And here it says, this is science, this is facts. Caffeine decreases your memory enzymes. So it's kind of counterproductive that you are drinking caffeine trying to study when in actuality, it's not really, helping you in that way at all. And another key thing to remember is if you crave caffeine, it's a signal for water. So think about that during your day, and maybe you need to pick me up at 2 or 3 or 4 p.m. in the afternoon. Grab a glass of water. And if you can, make it microclustered ionized alkaline water. And again, 10 ounces of coffee removes 12 ounces of water from your body. So, all right, so weight loss. Weight loss and diet matters with the water you drink. So if you are eating processed fats, processed foods, refined grains, chemicals, preservatives, sugars, like I said earlier, these all take way more water to metabolize and flush out your toxins, because these types of foods don't have that water content in them, like this picture over here where it says eat your water. These things are very hydrating. They're very easy for us to digest because of the high concentration of water. And for people that are overweight or struggling with their weight, they don't drink enough water because people just don't, because they don't want that acidic water, that tap water that they get, or the water from the gas station in that plastic bottled water. Our bodies don't crave that kind of water, therefore we don't drink enough water. It takes a lot longer to flush the toxins out of their bodies, and it moves fat deposits. And again, hunger and thirst are confused. So if you're looking to change your water and get microclustered ionized water, these things will change. Your taste buds start to change. You start to realize that you're not hungry, you're thirsty, because you're being hydrated. Your receptors of hydration are turning on, and it's really exciting. And I've been enjoying it myself. So blank of Americans have such a weak thirst sensation and mistaken it for hunger, thus obesity. So how many do you think it is? 2 out of 10, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 4, or 2 out of 3? So 1 out of 3. So 33% of Americans have such a weak thirst that they mistaken it for hunger, which is a pretty big deal. So going back to our blood. So our blood is 83% water. You can look up those statistics everywhere, and everywhere is a little bit different, but 80%, let that sink in. Your blood is pretty much water. And your blood is the transport, the carrier of nutrients, of releasing toxins, of getting rid of those calcium deposits or deposits in your body. So I like to say our blood is our river. And since it's 80% water, when we hydrate it, it can flow to all parts of our body. And so that's why I have this picture right here, because we want our blood to look like this, a flowing, rushing river that's vibrant and full of life. We don't want our blood to be stagnant like syrup, where it can't flush or can't function or flush our body out of toxins and poisons. You know, the pond is nice and it has life, but it also has bacteria. It has things growing. It's, algae, things are growing. And so when your blood is stagnant, things tend to pile up. Things tend to grow where they're not supposed to. Just like your arteries or high blood pressure, whatever. Water, the type of water you drink is very important. So we don't want it stagnant. We want more vibrancy. We want more life. We want the rushing river to, be our blood. So allergies. This is huge. I have an allergy to gluten. And so when I found out about this, I thought it was really interesting how water can help with allergies. Chronic dehydration can cause histamine to become excessively active. Young nervous systems are vulnerable to any allergic or toxin overload. So just like all the food that we have and all of the cleaning products that are in our houses, they all have very high toxins in them. And when you're young and developing, that can trigger allergies on top of being dehydrated. Allergies lead to behavioral disorders such as hyperactivity, learning disabilities, etc. So 1 in 10 react adversely to some common foods and or food additives. So 1 in 10. So that is someone in your family. That is somebody that you know. It's someone in your friend group. 1 in 10 is not a lot of people. And so if we just realize that water can help with these elements and the right type of water, then these statistics can get lower and lower because our bodies are able to flush those toxins out and to not be so reactive to additives or common foods, and hydrate ourselves so we don't have those disorders and hyperactivity in children. So when I say allergies, I mean all types of allergies, skin contact from plants or animals, injection like a bee sting, into ingestion like medication, nuts, or shellfish, or inhalation. So like asthma. Oh, sorry, everybody. Anyway, always something. Inhalation. So pollen, dust, asthma, mold, mildew, animal dander. These are all allergies that water can help with because water is a natural antihistamine. Research shows water is known to reduce histamines. Dr. Batman Halalji says the water inhibits histamine production as well as its excess release. Research found that water by itself has strong natural antihistamine properties. So if you struggle with any of these allergies or any type, please write his name down right now and go do your research, because the fact that water can be a natural antihistamine and you don't need to take any medication for your allergies is a pretty big deal. And this guy is really known, has been around and is known. So, but again, it matters. The right type of water matters. If you are drinking tap water, or bottled water or well water, like it's not the same as a microclustered ionized alkaline water because you're not getting that deep cellular hydration. Okay, blank people suffer from allergies. So is it 3 out of 10? 4 out of 10, 1 out of 10, and 2 out of 10. And this is all ages. 2 out of 10 people suffer from allergies. Now, that's pretty huge too. That's a pretty big number. Again, friends and family, everyone knows someone that's allergic to gluten or has asthma or can't eat nuts. It's more and more popular these days in our society. All right, so hydration. Now that we learned about dehydration and how important it is to really hydrate ourselves, water must be microclustered, ionized, and alkaline to have proper hydration. Reverse osmosis, distilled, purified, bottled, acidic pH water cannot hydrate the cells or the brain. It takes water out of your body because it's acid water. So that's a pretty big thing to know about, so you know what type of water you're drinking and to do your research. This is science. These are facts that you can find on the internet of how these types of waters do not hydrate you. Not all water is created equally, just like all of our food. Not all of our food is created equally anymore. And if you look over here, this is your tap water molecule, and it doesn't look very pretty. It's very jagged, crooked, any type of words you want to call it, it's those. And if we look over here, the ionized water, like when you were in chemistry class in high school and you had to do chemistry problems and connect the molecules together, your diagrams looked like the ionized water ones. This is hexagonal. There's 6 sides. And that's beautiful. That is living water, we like to call it. Because when you get water out of your tap, it's like this, and it is. It's just coming straight from those pipes and it's being stagnant for a while. But if you add an ionization, which is an electrical shock kind of to it, it wakes the molecule up and allows it to be structured and to really hydrate you on that cellular level. And I would love to be drinking living water over stagnant water every day, any day, just like the river versus the pond with algae. Practitioners of the Western world and natural holistic practices are not very educated on water. And so there has been more education. People are coming out with this, but it's still very new to everyone, all the doctors and all the people practicing. So here's some recommendations for you to add hydration to your life and to be drinking more water. So only drink microclustered ionized alkaline water made with medical grade solid titanium and platinum plates. The reason it says that is because there's lots of different ionizers out there, but the Kangen water machine is medical grade and has titanium and platinum plates on it. And that's the best one on the market. So begin drinking as soon as you wake up in the morning, drinking 16 ounces of water. And that's important. Even if you don't have this water accessible to you right now, drinking water in the morning will help you with your function, with your hydration every day. Continue drinking every hour, on the hour, all day long. Drink enough water to produce clear urine. And maybe that would be something just to try out one day to see if you can drink enough drink enough water to see how clear your urine is. Maybe challenge yourself one day and see if that's possible for you. If you live in high altitudes, you need more water. So here in Colorado, if you eat convenience processed foods, you need more water. Like we said, digesting and the process takes a lot more water. If you exercise, you need more water, sweating. If you have a lot of stress, because stress increases your metabolism, which uses up more water. So if you are in stressful times right now, which we all kind of are, make sure you're drinking, you're hydrating yourself. That can be self-care too, just drinking good quality, amazing water. And if you're overweight, you have more cells to detoxify, more cells for digestion, needing water. So that's another huge thing to, take into consideration, which we kind of touched during this. So how much water should I drink? We said 9 cups earlier, which is a great number to start with as well. But here's another way: at least half of your weight in ounces. So 125 pounds divided by 2 is 62.5 ounces. And so for me, I work out, I move, it is a little stressful now. So I try to drink more than 62 ounces a day. But this is a good benchmark if you want to practice hydration and have something that is, more personal to you. All right, this is the last one. It takes blank glasses of alkaline water at 9 pH to neutralize the acid of 8 ounces of soda. So an 8 ounce of soda is like a can of soda. So how many glasses do you think that would take? 10, 2, 32, or 22? 32 ounces of water. Or glasses. Oh my gosh, 32 glasses. How crazy is that? And this isn't just regular tap water. This isn't bottled water, well water. This is alkaline water at 9 pH to neutralize the acid in your soda. And that's supposed to say 8 ounces on the slide, even though it says 1 ounce. I messed that up. But that is crazy to think about. That's how much acidity is in soda that we consume and drink. So a quick recap of this webinar is microclustered ionized alkaline water is the missing link to your health. And like we saw at the beginning, all those percentages of our body are water, from liver, kidneys, bones, blood, heart, brain. I am not kidding. If you change your water, you will change your life. You will be able to be that hydrating, vibrant self again just by switching this, because we are made up of so much water. It's pretty crazy. It helps with so many health issues, mental health, and weight loss. Dehydration is something to take seriously if you have any health issues or concerns. So again, if you're taking any type of medication, make sure you're hydrating yourself and just aware of that. Be aware of the amount of caffeine and water you are taking in. So if you drink 3 cups of caffeine, make sure you're drinking an extra 3 cups of water. If you have any type of allergies, please research Dr. Bhat Mahan Helji. I'm not saying that correctly, but write his name down and research him, because he has so much out there on allergies and water. When you hydrate your body correctly, it allows your resonance and electromagnetic field to be flowing, functioning, and healthy. And that's so big. Like we basically are water, electricity, and energy. And we are here experiencing life. And so if we can make that process flow and function the best way, our lives are going to be the best way and vibrant as well. Hydration can be easy if you're drinking the right type of water. And like I said, a lot of people aren't thirsty or don't crave water because their body doesn't want acidic water. It doesn't want the water with chemicals in it. And so that's just something to be aware of. If you notice you don't drink a lot of water, that might be why, because your body isn't craving that type of water. All right, so thank you so much for listening to my webinar and being educated on water today. And if you want any information about microclustered ionized alkaline water, please write yes please in the chat or email me or whoever brought you to this webinar today. And we will finish up here with a couple of questions. Cool. All right, so I'm going to bring Sarah on real quick. Which one? So, all right. We'll bring Sarah on here, and she has any questions written down. I hope everyone enjoyed this webinar. Yay. Hi, Sarah.
Hey, It's gone.
Good.
Okay. My brother texted me and he's wondering what are some personal testimonials drinking microclustered water for you?
Awesome. Thank you, Sarah's brother. So I've been drinking the water for about 4 months now, and I have noticed weight loss, because of the microcluster. It's able to detoxify me on a cellular level, and I am mind blown by that. My digestion has also been on point since drinking this water. As I said earlier, I am a gluten allergy, so having this water has helped with my digestion and my hydration, and just sleeping better and feeling better in my body because I am able to feel everything functioning the best way it can from hydration. So, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then I have another friend wondering why tap water can be dehydrating.
Totally. Tap water has a lot of chemicals in it, from chlorine, bromine, fluoride, pesticides. The list can go on and on if you just Google your tap water. And like I said, tap water isn't always acidic, but our body doesn't crave it because it has those different chemicals in there, and it's, not able to hydrate itself. So it might not be like a 6 acidic like bottled water, but it's definitely not hydrating us on a cellular level. It's still hydrating you. And if it's the water that you have accessible right now, that's great. But it's just something to look into, especially wherever you're located in the world and in the country, to really learn about the type of water that you're consuming in your body.
Awesome. Does anyone else have any questions?
Yeah, any last questions?
Put them in the chat box.
Oh, of course. Thank you for joining, Eileen. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, Sarah, would you like to say your testimonial from drinking this microclustered water?
Oh, sure. I wasn't ready for this. There's been a lot of things. So I was in a really bad car accident a few years ago and have a brain injury, and I've done lots of different things for it in the alternative medicine realm. And all of it has worked, but nothing has helped me so immensely as this water has. I mean, it's really honestly phenomenal. And it's just interesting to me because nobody asked me or questioned me about the water I was drinking. And experiencing this water, I'm realizing that my brain probably was just really dehydrated and really needing good quality water. And I've just known I've experienced such a rapid significance change since drinking the water with my brain. So I have like way more mental clarity than I ever have. I don't get tired anymore in the afternoon. I was experiencing a lot of fatigue and thyroid and adrenal issues, and I'm not crashing anymore. I have energy all day long. My skin definitely loves the water. It's a lot softer, and I don't have any kind of like dry scalp like I used to in Colorado with it being so dry. My digestion has been way better. Honestly, there's like a pretty long list of stuff, but I would definitely say the brain part is the biggest thing. And just, I don't have any kind of fogginess I just have a lot of mental clarity, and I feel like I can mentally focus and absorb all day long, and my memory has improved immensely.
Thanks, Sarah. Yeah, so that's like what, I talked a lot about today is brain dehydration is a huge thing for a lot of illness, for a lot of different functions in our body because of that electromagnetic field and the resonance that we have in the neurons in there. So, and then we have another question. What about alkaline water, bottled water? So that's a really good question. alkaline bottled water is basically it's reverse osmosis water, which then it adds it adds minerals in it like potassium and magnesium and calcium. But because they are added like that, they actually aren't very good for you. They're chemicals. Where our machine is just alkaline water, a pH of 9.5, and it's not sitting in plastic and it's living water. So alkaline versus alkalized water is a little confusing, but it's definitely not your go-to. If you're going to buy anything at the store, I like to buy coconut water while I'm traveling if I can't fill up, or bring my medical grade water that I can travel with. So that's just another tip. So awesome. Well, thank you everyone for being here today. That is a wrap for the part 1 water education webinar. And I'm sure I will be doing some more about bottled water and tap water, and even just one on microclustered water, because it's really, really interesting what this magical water can do. So thank you so much for joining. Thank you. Thank you. And again, reach out if you have any other questions or want any information about micro-clustered ionized alkalized water. So we will catch you guys next time. Thank you.